This is your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Dr. Don's Weather is made possible by the Randolph County Commission, First Light Coffee, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Sway Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, the Salem Auction House, and Bama Diesel Repair. From the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery, Southern Union State Community College, and the venue at 5 Points Farms. Here's Dr. Don.
Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. You've made it to the halfway mark of your work week, and we're going to let you know how the weather is going to behave for the rest of this week and into this upcoming weekend. Thank you, Randolph County Commission, for being a partner with us here on Dr. Don's Weather. Don't forget to text the word ALERT to 256-540-8664. That's Randolph County's Hyper Reach. You can also go to the website that you see there on the bottom of the screen and sign up to receive that important information during times of emergency across Randolph County. Speaking of emergencies, you got to have insurance to cover you when those things happen, and they will. Get in touch with Jamie Dukas. Find out what Jamie can do for you. A lot of times he can save you money and increase your insurance coverage at the same time. Get your ducks in a row with Dukas. Scan the QR code, click the link at the top of the video, or call Jamie at 256-831-7770. Also, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel, click that subscribe button and the little bell so that when we go live to cover severe weather, you'll be guaranteed to get that notification. No severe weather expected across Alabama or Georgia, really, anytime in the foreseeable future. High pressure is in control. My goodness, yesterday was fantastic. At least it was up here in the North Georgia mountains. I had to attend a meeting in Hiawassee, Georgia, up in Towns County, right on the North Carolina line yesterday, and the humidity values were very low. It was, I think, like 77 degrees at noon yesterday, a little light breeze. It was perfect. Sunny days with less humidity will continue for the next couple of days, and then the heat will return by Friday. As we get into the weekend, our temperatures will, they'll be up in the 90s for daytime highs. Rain chances will, I think, stay away until at least Sunday, and even then it's questionable. We'll give you only a 20% chance of rain by the time we get to the end of the weekend. There is considerable disagreement among the models as to when our next weather system will affect us. One of our storm prediction models is trying to suggest that we may end up with some type of tropical system down in the Gulf of Mexico toward the weekend or first part of next week. However, that particular model has not been performing very well lately, so right now the Weather Service is kind of considering that an outlier as far as the long-range forecast is concerned. So, speaking of tropical trouble, let's take a look at what's happening. We do have a disturbance out there this morning. It's a broad and elongated area of low pressure near the west central coast of Florida. It's producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. The system has moved very little over the past 24 hours, but is expected to move northeastward across Florida and move offshore of the U.S. southeast coast within the next day or so. Although upper-level winds are expected to be only marginally conducive, some slow development is possible while the system moves offshore of the southeastern U.S. Over the next couple of days. Regardless of development, heavy rainfall is forecast to continue across portions of the Florida Peninsula during the next few days. So if you're going to be traveling down there, Tampa, Florida, places down there in central Florida, all the way up to Jacksonville, tremendous amount of rain. They've already received a tremendous amount of rain, and it continues. So very wet down there in Florida. We don't anticipate any problems here in Alabama or Georgia from that system. But again, we're keeping a watchful eye on things as the GFS model is trying to develop something in the Gulf by the first part of next week. Again, right now, it doesn't really look likely, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for you. Speaking of tropics, the meeting I attended in Hiawassee yesterday was our local Georgia emergency emergency group. We get together once a month, our EMAG group, and we talk about things. And yesterday we had a special presentation provided by the National Weather Service out of Peachtree City. A good friend Keith Stillman joined us via webinar and gave us a tropical update on what we can expect this year. And I got to tell you, folks, the outlook coming from the National Weather Service is not pretty. One of the things that Keith pointed out during our webinar yesterday was that the ocean temperature in the Gulf, Caribbean, and Atlantic is already as warm as it typically is in September. This is early July. We've got a ways to go to get to September. So water temperature already that warm. Understand that hurricanes feed off of warm water. Also, the depth of that warm water is much greater this year than what we've seen in the past. Last year, we were in an El Nino year, which typically provides shear across the Caribbean. Shear, of course, blows the tops off of the storms and doesn't really allow them to develop. And if they do, it typically pushes them back off to the northeast. And that's what we saw last year. Last year was very active, but everything got pushed back out to sea. Well, right now we're in a neutral pattern, and we're moving toward a La Nina pattern. Now, in a La Nina pattern, you don't have that shear. So any storms that get into the Caribbean stand a much greater chance of getting into the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, we know what happens when those storms get into the Gulf of Mexico. That's not good for Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. So all indications are pointing toward an extremely active and potentially a very dangerous hurricane season for the southeastern United States. So keep that in mind on these beautiful blue sky days. Make sure that you start making your plans. Make sure you have generator. Make sure you have plenty of water stocked up. You want to make sure you have tarpaulins for your roofs. I mean, just all the things that you would think about that you might need during a tropical event across East Alabama and West Georgia. Most of what we end up with is the aftermath of the hurricane in the form of tropical storms. But yeah, all I have to do is mention two different storms, and you'll remember what I'm talking about, Opal and Irma. And there have been a lot of others, but those are the two benchmarks that we typically use. Those storms kicked, you know what, across East Alabama and West Georgia. And we don't have to deal with something like that this year. We will miss a great opportunity. So make sure that you are prepared, and right now is the time to do that. Let's take a look at the current conditions at the venue at 5 Points Farm. 66.2 degrees, feels like 66.2 because we don't have much wind out there this morning. Out of the north-northeast at 2, gusting to 5. Humidity 76%. The barometric pressure is 29.94. Dew point at 58. High temperature yesterday was 85 degrees. Currently, we have partly cloudy skies. Sunrise this morning at 5:30. The sun sets this evening at 7:52 p.m. It'll be a sunny day, less humid, warm, but not extremely hot. We'll make it to 90 in Roanoke, 89 in Franklin, 88 in Ashland and Lineville, 87 up in Anniston. And we top out at 91 in Valley this afternoon. 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center. Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. Mostly sunny today, maybe a few high-level clouds, high temperature of 90. Thursday, we're looking at 91. Look at that on Friday. It's going to be hot, 96 degrees. Saturday, we hit 97. It would not surprise me to see some locations hit that century mark on Saturday afternoon. So the heat returns with vengeance by Friday and Saturday. And then maybe on Sunday and Monday, we throw in a 20% chance of a scattered afternoon thunderstorm. Again, keeping a watchful eye on the tropics as we head toward the first part of next week. Southern Union State Community College Live Doppler HD radar this morning. Scanning central and east Alabama, showing no precipitation on Doppler weather radar. I hope that you head over to the Dr. Don Weather Store and pick up a coffee cup, a baseball cap, and a T-shirt. Proceeds from the sales of these items go back to support us here at Dr. Don's Weather. And we certainly hope that you'll take advantage of that and support us. And some good-looking stuff. And I really am impressed, especially with the coffee cups. Of course, the baseball cap and the T-shirts look pretty good too. But that coffee cup, that's good, high quality, good coffee cup. And I hope that you'll get one so you can enjoy your morning brew each day as we give you your primetime forecast here on Dr. Don's Weather. Have a fantastic Wednesday, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll do all of this again first thing tomorrow morning here on Dr. Don's Weather.
This has been your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from the Alpha Weather Center, powered by Southern Union State Community College, the venue at 5 Points Farms and Boondocks Barbecue and Creamery. Dr. Don's Weather is supported by the Randolph County Commission, First Light Coffee, Roger Bell Auto Brokers, Southern Auction Solutions, Genesis Weight Clinic, Jimmy Stevens Construction, Anchor Roofing, the Town of Wadley, Auction 431 South, the Salem Auction House, and Bama Diesel Repair. Be sure to like us on Facebook, share us with all of your friends, and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's Weather.